Welcome to Member Profiles, a series where we get to know the innovative companies leading the way for private LTE as members of the Anterix Active Ecosystem. Very pleased to be joined here today by Scott Burk, Sales Director for Commercial and Industrial Markets at CouncilRock. Hi, Scott.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Great. Hey, Scott, can you tell me a little bit about your role at CouncilRock and what excites you about what CouncilRock is doing in this space?
Yeah, I'm the Director of Sales for the industrial markets covering North America. I'm focused on the electrical utilities, water, the renewables, oil and gas, and industrial plant. And I'm very excited about CouncilRock being a member. We are focused 100% on the utilities in our solution set.
Fantastic. And can you tell me, Scott, what are the technologies that you work with? What are your offerings in this space? What should people know about what CouncilRock does?
Yeah, so CouncilRock is a lot different from, a lot of manufacturers that are in the private network space. Our roots of the company for the last 12 years has been engineering services. So we started doing engineering, doing electrical and mechanical design for the utilities. We went into RF planning that led us into designing of microwave networks, LTE and CBRS networks. And taking that knowledge base has then allowed us to build a product specifically to the utilities that addresses ease of use, ease of deployment, eliminates truck rolls, for example.
Scott, one of the real interesting products you have is the TELiG E1500. That's one that has an Anterix Active badge in our Anterix Active Ecosystem Program, which means that it's commercial ready for 900 megahertz private networks. Can you tell us a little bit about this award-winning device?
Yeah, so the TELiG E1500, we've designed it for the utilities, allow them to start today with their commercial carriers while they build out the private network, and then move into the Anterix, band 8, 900 megahertz or CBRS, and do this seamlessly.
Of course, Anterix views CBRS shared spectrum as complementary to our licensed 900 megahertz spectrum. What are some of the benefits you see in supporting both bands in a single device?
Yeah, I think where we see the benefit of having both those technologies is the coverage and the applications that you need to support. And some can be supported seamlessly on the 900 megahertz bandwidth. And then there's some that'll be done with the CBRS. But what's nice about CBRS is there is priority access license. So there's bandwidth that's reserved for the utilities if they have purchased that, or they can do the general available. And a lot of them that we're dealing with the utilities are determining, hey, some of the traffic will be prioritized over the PAL license CBRS spectrum, as well as the 900 megahertz. And then some of the non-critical traffic will just use the general availability.
And Scott, CouncilRock is a charter member of the Anterix Active Ecosystem. What motivated you to join our program?
Yeah, we've been very excited to be a member from day one with Anterix in the ecosystem. And our experience over the last 12 years of designing networks, in the past with microwave, they didn't scale. It wasn't easy to mix and match products. But now as we moved into the Anterix ecosystem, there's a commonality there. So everybody is working on one technology. It's standards based. There's a lot of R&D money that's gone into this technology. So now that you're able to build a better product, a better solution, something that scales and addresses the utilities' needs.
And how do you expect the Anterix Active Ecosystem to help and support your efforts?
Yeah, we look at it, it can't get any better for a manufacturer than to be part of the ecosystem, because we know the utilities that are looking at this solution are looking at vendors such as ourselves to provide a solution. And the other thing that's been great about the Anterix ecosystem is the work groups that have been available, getting feedback directly from the utilities on direct needs that they have. So we've been able to address those needs, adopt some new things that we weren't doing specifically at the time for them, but we've made changes to the product. We've also made recommendations that have been adopted as well. And this is a lot different from people that are in the commercial spectrum area, delivering a solution that's focused on enterprise, which is completely different from the utilities needs.
That definitely is exciting. And speaking of that, what are the exciting developments that we might expect to see from CouncilRock in the near future?
Yeah, we are just wrapping up a residential solar deployment that's been using our device and asset manager, the Vista platform. And what we've been doing today is we've been managing and monitoring UPS and batteries and doing some condition-based monitoring on those devices in the solar field. And what we've done is we've increased the customer satisfaction. We're using our data engine to do predictive analysis so that we know when maintenance has to be done on the solar panel, when it needs to be done on the UPS and the battery storage. So we're looking now to take those same benefits that have been achieved and then putting those into our other industrial markets. And we see that the utilities will benefit from it. It'll reduce their operation costs. It's going to preserve their CapEx costs on the renewables when they deploy and use this device platform. And we're looking for a better ROI with them.
Wow, that's a really compelling example. So thank you. And Scott Burk from CouncilRock, thank you for your time today. It's great to get to know a little bit more about you and certainly about CouncilRock and where you're going.